Hello, and welcome to another Divide and Conquer Total War game, well, submod of the Medieval 2 game. Fantastic. I am Unseasoned Boy, and you may or may not have watched my first video, where I defended Mount Gundabad from the Vale of Anduin, and successfully repelled it. Here's its bigger, badder brother, and yeah, this is just annoying. Half my army's available, as you can tell by the banner above the Mount Gundabad, and a full banner right there showing how much difference our armies are composing of. Even though we do have quite a full roster, you can see, 93 units soldiers in this battalion. Normally they have about 165, or was it like 200? I can't remember. Either way, it's almost half the force in that one battalion. That's why we're so far low. So after rehearing what I've learnt, either through feedback or through the editing process, some things that someone has given me feedback on what to explain or say or do. So there's a nice little test run again. Rightio, so firstly, thank you for the feedback from my good friend Lon, as she provided some information I can diverge onto this campaign, this little playthrough. Rightio, so firstly, we're Gundabad, at the very top of the mountains. This used to be one whole faction, part of the remnants of Angmar. Here they are over here. Actually, I'll do some of my nice coding and then reveal the map. So the fog of war basically just goes. You can see everything around you. I don't really normally use this. I just use this to normally just see what's happening around the map. Like how's Mordor going on, how Gondor and whatnot is going on. But hey ho, this gives you an idea of what this place is. So this is Gundabad. This was visually shown in The Hobbit. I think it was the third movie when Legolas and that other lady, can't remember her name, the elven lady, go off into Gundabad to see where Bolg's son comes from. Was it Bolg himself? One of the two. I think it's Bolg because the units here are called Bolg's Champions. Yeah, Bolg Champions. Now with these, with Gundabad, they're a very snow-like heavy unit faction. Same with Angmar on our western side. These we focus more on brutality and less numbers compared to our brethren, the goblins down in the south. These ones at Sagkala and further down in the western side of Moria. They focus more on less better units, but far more power, far more numbers. They'll have 200 per battalion, but their numbers are shite. Now, when you're looking around, you can see I've only got one place. That's because I didn't have Franzberg and Bazakul, but as you can see, I don't have Bazakul because of these guys. They came over, wrecked my shit and left. Same for these guys, particularly that one there from Ruin. The commander's called Ruin, because they laid Franzberg in ruins and it came for me. So that gives you a nice little idea of what this map is. As you can see by all the colours on the map at the bottom here, bottom left hand corner of the screen, there are so many factions, so many different factions, good, bad, neutral. Could easily do anything in this game. It's fantastic. Anyway, back to us in our little tiny remote area in the north. The Vale of Anduin are knocking on our door again. Mainly because I think I took Franzberg, I pissed in their river, and I think they got really pissy with it. So they sent their entire army up north. That was great. So what we're going to do with this. Now if you watch the first one, it's going to be basically the same tactic. Let them attack me and hopefully try and withstand them. When looking at their army, you can see some of them have a question mark, some of them numbers. this basically just means a battalion. So they've got 81 in their units, and you can see their attack, charge, melee, and defense. And you can particularly see how it's divvied up. So armor, defense, shield, skill, and shield. Now this actually has some relevance. If you're attacking someone like the Bjornins, or like a really terrible unit. Have I got any terrible units I can show you? No, because I've actually got quite good blacksmith here actually. Yeah, because you can see this one's got a gold shield for chainmail armor. Basically, it has like a... Is it like a rock, paper, scissors? I'll explain it as I go. So armor is if someone hits you with a sword or an arrow, will it penetrate, or how much damage will it reduce? Defense skill is when you're hand-to-hand combat, how much can a person withstand before having their armor taken out. So basically, these guys, defense skill are shield 3. It's not going to do well against, let's say, one of my elite units like a mountain guard who does 16 damage, for instance. That's not going to do well. And you can see by his 26 defense, he's going to be quite armored up. But then again, that's a elite unit versus a bottom tier unit. You can see the difference. 16, literally double the attack, and triple the amount of defense total. Now with these units you've got shields. These ones don't have shields, so that won't happen. So if you're getting attacked, normally the shield is in the left hand side, or the left arm of the character model. So when you shoot with an archer on their left side, it will hit the shield. If you shoot on their right hand side, it will hit, it won't hit anything. So that's why they've got a shield stat there. That also comes into play when they get attacked as well. So their defense skill with the armor and shield come into play when they get attacked by swords or swords or spears. If they're getting attacked by archers, it ignores the defense skill, only armor, only shield. So if you're dealing with someone who's got no armor and a high amount of skill, defense skill, which they do have in certain factions, archers would be fantastic to take them out. Same vice versa. If you have one that's like, I think it's in Bree, they have mercenary cavalry who have like high armor because they can buy the best armor, but they're amateurs, so they've got like 2 or 3 defense skill. Same with shields. They could have a really good shield, but if you take them with actual units who know what they're doing, they're dead. So that's just a little way how they're used. Attack is just your attack. If they get into melee range, they can do it. Normally archers do quite less. Well, not those ones. So my scout units do 7 attack melee attack. That's actually really good. That's 1 more than, that's 1 less than my basic fighting unit. But when I go to my main fighting unit, which is the Snowstorm Arch Raiders, they've got a 9. You might not see much of a difference, but trust me, there's a lot of difference, especially when the charge bonus of 4 and a 6. That basically when they're running at someone, like what they're doing right there on this. On their picture, they're running at someone, they know how to attack. They have these abilities at a glance. These are actually quite important. So if I look at, say, Mountain Guard, it says skilled against mounts. That means if horses want to come after them, these are the guys I want there, especially with spears. Anything with spears basically always have a good against mounts. Some units do have special abilities like, form a spear wall, effective against armor. So if you've got a unit that's got high in armor, like these guys like I showed you previously, the armor, 12 armor, these bold champions will rip through them because they're effective against armor, basically meaning that armor may or may not be, not useless entirely, but will have a huge impact in their attack. It'll be like half, for instance. If you go down further down, description of what they are, but you also get these morale unwavering. These guys will never break, or you will have to do a lot to break them compared to orc hunters. You've got poor morale. If they see their commander get killed, they're off. They're done. They're not bothering. Further down you see what they have trained bonus against. They might get a tiny bonus, like maybe an extra attack or something, but that extra attack or defense can go a long way. Missiles free because they're javelin throwers, they've got 3 compared to archers who have 28. Good range, decent accuracy, fantastic. So that's like a little breakdown of like soldiers you can use, you know, and you can look at their units. Some of them have question marks, you have nothing about them except for like some things like that. Wow, they've got a herd horse archers? Oh damn, I need to be careful with that. That's gonna kill me if I'm not careful. But yeah, some units will have all their stats on, maybe because they're quite close to my capital. I do know some. You can get a spy, like this unit over here, and if you stand next to a place, you'll know where they are. So these two are question marks if I stand right next to it.
Ready. Hurry up.
Yeah, now I can see their numbers. That's just how that works. For one right now, they're just sieging me, so I'm gonna end my turn and see what they do. Now this is a turn-based game. There's 2 sides of this game. There's turn-based and then there's the RTS version. So the turn-based is what you're seeing right now. That's why I was able to spend so much time on the map. Nothing's going to move until I say it moves. Either I move it myself or I end turn and things start moving. Now the RTS game is when you're on the battlefield and you're moving your units around. Anyone who's played Total War games before, any of them will know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's just like any other normal RTS game that you may have played in the past. If it's a Command and Conquer, hell, even a Sims, where you're just moving things around. These are just little tidbits that are told you around the map because normally you don't play with the cheats of knowing where everything is. I don't use them that much. I just use them to see what's happening around the map. Just, you know, things like this. I'll be like, oh, what's happening over there? And I'll toggle Fog of War and look over there and go, oh, that's interesting, and then come back. Relations report, see how things are good. Oh, the dwarves of Khazad-dûm like me. Oh, that's fantastic. Can you tell your brethren to fuck off, please? Jesus Christ. The Anduin Vale like me? What? Your relation? Yeah, your relations. Yeah, so that's me. They don't like me. They're bashing down my door. These are the Vale, aren't they? I'm not going mad. Who are they? Game? What do you mean reputation's good? Trustworthy? Oh my god. So, my good, trustworthy neighbours are bashing down my doors, and they're not attacked me yet though. That's surprising. Normally you have to wait for them to attack you, but I can't really do anything at this point because this is my only place I can build stuff, units and construction, and I can't really do a damn thing. But what I am thinking of is my diplomat that I have over in the heart of the Shire and Breland. If I can take it all the way back to the Vale of Anduin, hopefully I might be able to broker a peace treaty.
Opening talks with the foreigners.
So it's going to take, so the colour lines you can see are the amount of turns it's going to take. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking turns, Jesus Christ. Until I can potentially broker a peace treaty. That's going to be fun. So what can I do? Nothing, so I'm just going to end turn again. They have to attack me. I can attack them, but I'll be killed in open plains. They've got so many horse units, 5 horse units. They'll kill me. I've only got 1, and it's 26 wargs. And hell, one of their cavalry had 81. Yeah, 81 again. 81. That's going to be another 81. That's going to. Oh my god, they got 6 units of cavalry. Yeah, I'm definitely not meeting them in open plains. Tell you that, Jesus. They ripped apart. Not fun at all. Not fun at all. Right here. Oh, here we go. They're attacking. Oh, I was just singing along to the music just a second. I just realised. I was checking the analytics of my first video that I made. All of this music is copyrighted. Yeah, I should have seen that one coming. If you don't know what that means, that basically just means when, let's say I get to a point in this whole YouTube business that I can start making money from it, I can't make money from these videos because they're using a property, which is the sound and voice clips of things from movies, like that song we just heard just then is from Mordor. I think it's from the Mordor soundtrack. Yeah, Mordor from one of the, I think it's the third movie, Return of the King. And because it's in that movie, like this music right here, that's copyrighted. I know for sure because I remember hearing that in one of the movies. So yeah, I can't make any money from this. If I do make money from this, it'll have to be either muted or so quiet you couldn't hear it. So either way, you can't hear it. Yay. Right, so aha, so they're not doing what they did last time, and that was line up in a line. They do that because they've got a ballista, but they don't have any ballistas, so that's good. So they're going to go straight for me. I don't know why they ever man these towers or build them in the first place. They can never reach them anyway. These are just too high. I think it's to stop them from taking over the capital too quickly, because normally towns or castles that you attack will have small enough walls so you can put ladders up and siege towers, but because this is a capital where if you take this you basically knock out Gundabad, or very closely to knocking out Gundabad, I think they want to make sure that units can actually, well, the actual faction can survive when you're defending it, which is the only reason I've been surviving. If they could get siege towers all up here, I'd be dead. I would have been long dead, because they wouldn't have to. My strategy of bringing wargs out and distracting the ram wouldn't work when they've got siege towers and ladders and coming up. Rightio. So they're the skirmishers, they're the spear throwers. That's why I put them at the front so they can throw their spears down. Yeah, show them who's boss. Grumble, 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 grumble. Oh, you guys look so much more tame. Jesus Christ, you need to. Those guys over there, they're really into it. You guys need to get into it as well. Oh, there you go. You got to click on them. Yeah. Ooh. You're gonna die if you don't do stuff. Right. 113 of you, 30 or 33 of you go there. Boss dude, you go in the corner. The reason I put the boss dude over here because he's got the longest and most accurate bows, because his special units are the Black Shield Archers, who are really good, as you can tell by their 6 missile attack and their high accuracy compared to the 4 missile attack and average accuracy. There you go. Little things to know about your units before placing them down. So yeah, what I'm going to do here is select all the portraits of the units I just put up, and then press Control 1 to put them in a group. So if I misclick and I'm like, oh no, kill this thing, I click all of them, I click the one, or just press the one, and I select every single one, so they can just attack. That's the same thing for when you're selecting units, like if I want my spear units, or my cavalry units, or my infantry units into another one. Speaking of which, pike dudes, try and get as close as possible you can before you can put the stakes up. There you go. Now stakes, you can't put them down and move them like that, because they'll just disappear. And if I put them too close, that stakes turns into spear walls, because they're too close, they can't put stakes inside the wall. So you've got to move them up a bit by bit. There you go. So basically horses will just run straight into that, and kamikaze. Ah, you think the Japanese did it first? Oh no, the Velvanduin riders did it first. With less explosions, so fantastic. Now, next part of the plan, Warg Riders. They go at the front, they're going to walk out. If they run through, I've done this before, I ran my units out and they all died. That was a lesson I learned very quickly. Don't run your units over your fucking stakes. Infantry are fine, just not your cavalry. I've done that with Rohan. I killed about 50% of my own units because I wasn't paying attention. Because you do something called cycle charging, where you charge your units into a battalion and immediately take them back out, and then charge them back in again, out, and then back in again. It's a cycle charge because they do more damage for each time they strike into the, into the battalion. Don't do that near spikes, well, stakes. Yeah, like I said, I've lost half my army to that once. I lost that, and then they destroyed me. Rohan's such a hard faction to play as. If you can play as Rohan, then you've got my, you know, admiration, because fuck that. Trying to do a bunch of horses is just annoying. Speaking of annoying, shut up, Jesus Christ. There you go. Right, let's select all of them so I know who's going to be in my number 2. Actually, no, I want number 3. I want my spear units to be my number 2, sorry. Orc fighters going to be behind so they can support these guys. Oh my god, there's so little of them. They've only got like a 2 rows there. Jesus. Boss dude, you're going to stay back, because if you die, I am screwed. You can see who Boss dude is through the little golden crown above his head. The silver ones are just your other faction guys. That's really it. This guy is my main dude. As you can see, he's that dude back there. There he is. There's his personal bodyguards, banner carrier, who does not look the part compared to the rest of everyone there. And all these guys are going to be mountain guards. Now, all your generals are always going to be fountain. Was it your like default unit? Well, bodyguard unit, that is. So if I ever get another faction leader, or you know, another guy like one of these portraits, there'll always be a mountain guard, nothing else. The only reason why this one is a Black Shield Archer is because he's a special unit. So he's a... Don't spaz out on me. This is a unit that basically starts with you beginning of each game. So if you lose him, that's it. He's gone forever. You cannot get another Black Shield Archer cat like general. But if I get another general, he'll be a mountain guard, who are really quite powerful units. Anyway, after that long explanation, should we get into it? We just put them into a nice little thing. So if I select number 3, all of them selected. Fantastic. Right, let's start. Walk them out. You press it once to walk them, tap it twice to make them run. I want you right here. Now, you might think, what's the reasoning for putting my wargs outside to disrupt the... What's it called? This. Oh my god, again, peppered already by arrows. It's to basically prevent the battering ram from getting used as much. If you're wondering where that big arrow comes from, it's coming from these little towers up here. Oh wow, this is going to go badly for me. Already their cavalry's involved, there's archers everywhere. Not archers everywhere, there's arrows everywhere. If I'm flinging archers over the walls, I'm doing something wrong. Right, run over there. I need to sort this out. Do it quickly. I'll explain in a minute what I'm doing. Oh, for God's sake, just line up. Oh, thank God they didn't charge my wogs. They would have killed them all. Yeah, so basically, the reason why I'm preventing this is because it gives more of my time for my archers to shoot out. More I kill, fantastic, before they come through into here. Also, you can see by the gate, there's like gates here. That's mainly because if they get through, the first thing they like to go is for your generals. And I've got a general up here. And they will come through here and immediately go through in this little doorway here that comes out this way. And they will tear my shit up. Because it's not fun. Are they coming for me? Oi! Oi! Leave me alone! Oh, I should keep them moving. You can see by the arrows, I just left them here. Just getting shot. This is why I don't like archers. And they've got so many, especially those horse archers. Oh my god, they're not giving up. They're faster too. They're going to catch. They're going to catch up. Or unless they're going to get killed first by all the archers. Are they moving another... Are they moving that one? Which one are they moving? Are they not moving at all? That's odd. I'm all for it though. Oh, there it is. It's there. Charge that. Make them slow them down again. Jesus Christ! Look, I'm losing all my units. You can see why the Wargs has been shot along the way. I've only done one charge so far. But yeah, these Wargs are always going to die. I just don't want to die so quickly. Oh my god, no, they're all dying. Oh my no, at least charge into them, break them up. Oh, it's on fire. Oh, lovely. The ballista in the tower sorting them out, and they're dead. Okay, so that's it. When the ram gets to my front door, that is it. They're coming through. Can't stop them. Well, at least I'm petty enough to have this ram done and dusted. Hopefully my spear units will start to throw their spears at these guys at the front here. Yeah, look at them. Oh, these are hobbits. These are store sheriffs. These are the hobbits of Anduin. If you're wondering why the Anduin have hobbits on the eastern side of the mountains, it's because that's where the hobbits originally came from. That's where Smeagol came from, where he killed his best friend for the ring. Spoiler alert, anyway. Yeah, so people always think that Smeagol came from like the Shire or whereabouts, you know, like Bree, for instance, or the Breeland Shire area, but they don't. They came from the Vale of Anduin, down the river, the mighty river, which is the one I jokingly said about I pissed out earlier. That's where hobbits originally are from, and then they, well, I'm guessing, they moved over to the Breeland because it is much more peaceful. They don't have to deal with, you know, Doggle or the mountains, goblins that is. So no problems there. Right, now, because all my skirmishers are sorted in terms of spears thrown, they're going to get off. They're moving this one, are they? Are they moving this one? What are they moving? Oh, they're moving this one over here. Okay then. Because it takes a while for people to get off this bloody thing, so I'm going to take all of my units off the walls. Because they do take a while to get off. Because they all bunch up down here for some reason. And some of them just refuse to get off. You'll see like the odd one or two just stay up like these. The problem is if one of them gets into combat, all of them get into combat. So if this one stays up here and he gets attacked, they'll all try and run back to find their mates. I mean, it's lovely because, you know, no man left behind and all that. But I wish they'd fucking practice that elsewhere and not here. Because that's a piss take after a while. There you go, you have to keep telling them to get off and then they'll eventually move. Yeah, they are. I killed 10%, this is the lowest I've ever done. I could actually lose this battle. I'm hoping I'll kill most of that army with these spears. I told you they'll bunch up down here. The majority of that, I'm hoping their cavalry just charges straight into these pikes. Not all of them will die, but a good amount of number will die. And that's what I'm hoping for. Just a huge amount will just die on these pikes, these stakes. Like, you're gonna back your brethren behind, because if these spear dudes die, I'm not too much of a worry, and they just increase the numbers. Come on, move, move, move. There you go. All you have to do is tell them to move again, and they start moving. Alright, just in time as well. See, look how long that took. If they pushed down the door and then I started trying to get everyone off, they'll be caught in the crossfire. That was perfectly timed. So archers, you line up there. I'm going to line up there. These guys are going to move out the way so you get a good shot. and these guys are going to move up here. Everyone run as well, because I want you in position quick enough so you can start firing your arrows. Right, you then. Your guys are going to add into number 3 slot, so I can just select all of you at once to dogpile. Oh, right to you. So they're going to shoot an arc over, and then when they get through, they're going to basically just shoot over instead of just arcing over. You always want your units, your arch units, to shoot straight instead of arcing. Arcing has a very not good hit. As you can see, sometimes it just drops down and misses completely. If you arc them, it goes into a straight line, so if it misses the dude in front, it might hit the dude behind, or the dude behind further and further behind. Right, kamikaze on them. I just want to see these stakes to get a ton of kills. They have to charge there. If they stop, then they're fine. Like this dude just stopped here, so he's fine. Oh no, he just ran into it. Yep, that's it. All die. Come on. Bunch of you die. Come on, please die. Again, not all of them are going to die, but a huge... See, that's what I mean by, like, they shoot into, not arcing over. Oh yeah, that's it. They're starting to rout. So actually, I'll explain that actually. So as you can see, certain units have certain things. So if I look at my units, they're fresh, they're eager, they're ready. Means they're quite good. These guys, Fichte seems certain only a Falk loses battle. That's like between their fight and whoever they're fighting. That's not overall. Fighting seems only a military genius could win this battle. Wavering, that's where you want to see wavering on the enemy, because that means they're going to break. And you can see these ones are routing or broken. That means they're running away from the battle. That basically means I can take them prisoner. As you can see by this bottom right hand corner, number 6, that's how many people I've taken alive. They're basically just either knocked out or something like that. So I can sell them or execute them or just let them go, if I'm depending on how nice I feel. Never let them go. Always ransom or murder them. Unless you're trying to play a goody two shoes, and no one's played goody two shoes except for those goody two shoes. What I'm liking though is these guys are panicking because some of them are routing backwards and some of them trying to charge forward, causing this little clump here. And this is perfect for my archers because when they're shooting in, they can't miss. They're just constantly getting hits. Let's cause more mayhem, shall we? Oh no, they're rating as well because they just don't want to deal with it. Right, this is perfect. This is what you want. Oh, enemy general falling as well. So yeah, that's why they're routing. How much are there? Oh my god, how many are there out here? There's so many. Even the whole main force is still. The main force is still yet to come. Oh, I was going to charge all my guys in. There's no point. Don't mind my orc defenders getting in there because they're not really that major. They're always going to be here no matter what. I don't get to keep them afterwards. Oh, don't shoot the top. Shoot into. Best thing about this is also trying to get through and then just getting killed. That's it. Come, my pretties. Come and stab yourselves. Look at them all run. They're going to come back. As you can see, some of them are starting to like not run anymore. Yeah, they're going fine. If they're not sprinting off, that means they're back to how they are. So these guys are running off. So these are people who are routing. But after a while, they'll probably just start doing what these guys are doing and coming back. Some of them, however, will just keep on running because they're scared. And you know what? Damn right they should be. Damn right. Okay, go back, go back, go back. I don't want you to run off because you look like you're getting further and further ahead. There's a reason I put bulk champions at the front. They're my most elite units, and normally you don't put your elite units at the front, but There's a reason why you put these guys at the front. Because they're really good. They've got halberdiers. And they go against armour. So whatever they come across, they will destroy. Okay, they're kind of messing up my formation here. Some of them are standing in line, some of them not. Jesus, this isn't musical chairs, people. Get in line. Jesus Christ. Oh wow, it's... Really? No, because I don't trust it. Because some of them are coming back again. So I know if I run out there... Yeah, see, look, all of them, like, most of them have just stopped now. They're going to come back for another round 2. That's the problem that you have with this game. You'll run out, and suddenly all your guys are stuck in here, and they'll come back in again. And that is the thing you do not want. I've got archers shooting it. You don't phase through my wall. That's my gate, thank you very much. What you don't want is to be on the receiving end of archers. So right now I'm not getting many archer attacks. They are. So there's no point me following them out there. I want these guys to either... See, now the horses are getting through because they're walking casually through these. Oh shit, they're actually attacking this bit. Okay, you guys can charge in. And so can you. Ah, sod it, you can get in. You know what? Sod it. Everyone can get in. Let's have a Barney. We'll take them off Spearwall because when they're in Spearwall they cannot run. And I'll add them into group number 2 instead of having group 2 and 3. I say, have a Barney. Yeah. Get in there. Oh damn. I didn't expect them to like surge through it all. Jesus. That's it, all run. How many have we killed? 41%. Only 41%. Jesus. You want to at least kill like 80% of like an enemy force because they'll just come back because, you know, half their army, they'll have half a banner and still come at me. Which prevents me from building anything. When people siege you, an army sieges you, you cannot build anything. So if you're building units or training units or building construction of any kind, you cannot build it. So it stops you from doing everything. That's why I've just, ended my turn each time my turn came. Because I'm unable to do anything. I just have to wait. So if I kill them enough, they'll run off, and it gives me a couple of turns to build stuff. If it's retraining some certain units, or building a structure that's going to help. Because I'm currently building a barracks that can train some of my elite units, but I can't build it. I cannot build it because they keep attacking me. See, look what they're doing now is I'm now getting peppered by archers. That's why I'm having this huge line up here. You can see the arrows coming in, and because I'm all grouped up, they're going to get many kills. I've fallen straight into their trap card. Oh shit, they're charging into me. Yep. See, oh, they're straight into my spears as well, so these guys should be quite dead soon. These are the F4 cavalry. These are their elite cavalry, I think it is. I think it's their elite cavalry. ITO. Now it becomes a bit of a cluster because you see some people of like running all the way up here, like these guys for some reason. Sometimes I have no idea what's happening. Ain't gonna lie. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm pressing this little button down here. Basically flashes who's ally and who's red. So if I'm clicked off everyone, it just goes back to how it is like this. You don't know who's who. So you press this button, you can quickly see. Because sometimes you do fight with allies. So if you and another faction are with me, so if I'm with the Amryn that I showed earlier, the faction of Angmar, maybe I'm attacking the dwarves and they're helping me.
Half the enemy force remains.
It will show, you know, who are mine and who are his, allies being blue. Enemies are always red because it doesn't matter how many people are backing them up. You know, they're always going to be enemies to you, so they're always red. See that I'm catching 541 of their units. That means I can ransom them or just execute them however I wish. That's if I win. If I lose, then they get them all back. That's the risk. Can someone chase after that? Oh, they're horse. They're the horse archers. I was wondering where they're going to come into play. Oh, now you know. My archers. It's always best to leave someone behind. No pauses for now. Someone behind here. So normally it's my faction leader because they're quite powerful. Mainly because if they get like a single unit through here, all the way back here. See this little square with the flags? This is the capture command point. If they place a unit here, if they keep a unit in here for 5 minutes. I know this is quite a long time, but when you're trying to run all the way from over here all the way back, or all the way out there, like where the siege towers are, maybe I'm running after people and then realise someone's back up there, they win. So I always have to keep at least one unit behind. Normally my general, because no matter what comes through there, like if it's one of those cavalry units, even though this is like my most you know, protective unit, these are still quite powerful, as you can tell by their good stats. So you want to keep at least one of your main units or a unit of some kind behind, just to make sure everything's fine. Now we haven't won yet because even though everything else is run away, these guys haven't. They're only skirmishing, which basically whenever I get close, they run off. Actually, best idea, get the what's it called, the archers out here, because they can take a shot then at them. No, you can't just send your... Oh, there you go. We won. Fantastic. So we're going to continue, try and capture as many as possible. No, you can put your general unit or whatever unit in that box. So you don't have to worry. They're not going to be able to reach in time, so just let them max. Normally when I get to win situations, I just put on times 6 and see if we can capture anyone else. If not, then that's it. But if you can capture, you know, even some more, because we've only taken what 69% of that army clearly. Hopefully we can take like 70%. Would be a good number to take. So yeah, some of your units can be faster. So of course, heavy infantry are going to be slower compared to, you know, light infantry or people who have not got much to deal with. Oh, what do they stop for? Anyway, so that just basically means that people are faster. That's why it's great to fight the dwarves, because dwarves are slow. Dwarves are slow as shit. So when you're chasing after them with, like, you know, these guys who are just there built for speed, with their big axes that don't really sound like they're built for speed, or the snow raiders, or even cavalry, you can capture a bunch of them. And that's why they're so good to take on the dwarves after you've won. Of course, they're a bitch to fight, but when you win, you can capture all of them and just kill them all, because you don't want to leave dwarves alive, because they'll just wreck everything. Now, we're finished here, we've won, so we're going to exit battle, which always makes me worried that I'm going to quit and automatically forfeit. No, clear victory. I lost 282. I thought I lost way more than that. I thought I lost about half. 14%, yeah, it's fine. Plus you'll have those units that do recover as well. So you lost 1,700 as they've got 900 left. So I killed 1,000 of them and killed 632. Now these numbers might not actually make up this number down here. The reason for that is because simply archers, you know, when they're shooting into a crowd, they might hit their own teammates. It's why they've got 312 enemies killed, but I've got 282. That also could be just because I've what's it called, had some units recover. So units healed 2, 1, and I think my wargs were like 20 something, yeah, 26 warg warders. So let's see, who are our biggest kills? So our general with the archers killed 111, scouts 134, orc hunters, they're the spear throwers, 105, orc hunters again 108. I have a scouts. I have 2 lots of scouts, don't I? Scouts 64. Oh, that was pathetic. Any other good ones? Bold champions got 50, and they've only like what? They only like 38 of 78 of them. Yeah, fair enough. ITO. And that is the second defence of Gundabad. Just another million more to go. Ah yeah, the Rich King of Angmar. So the Rich King actually came from Angmar, which is the Anduin. Anduin? No, that's just Angmar. Yeah, Rich King of Angmar. It's got a bloody name, Luke. Come on. Angmiren, that's it. So he's part of the Angmiren force, which is the north, just to my west, my western allies. As you may have seen, he's in Mordor for for the War of the Ring in Lord of the Rings, the main trilogy. So total ransom, I've got enough money, don't need it to kill him off. That's the 500 or so that I took. So that, yeah, they're backing off, retreating to the little fort. Those little forts are there just for defensive reasons and for upkeep. Each unit has like a certain amount of upkeep. Why? You've got barely anyone in your army. Bugger off. And it's, if you put in a certain amount of units into a keep, they can pay for themselves basically, because upkeep is basically how much money to feed them. And if they're in a fort and the fort has food already in it, which it always has, never runs out, or is able to replenish the food, that is, it will sort them out. I think you can put up to these 4 units in a fort that could be fed themselves, but any more after that, then you have to pay upkeep for them. That's why if you Rangers Flourish, if you look at my units, there is grey and there's like a blue background. It says free upkeep was garrisoned, and I look over here and there's nothing saying free upkeep. It's because these guys here are all paying for themselves. Well, not paying anything. So these guys will normally cost me 241 per turn upkeep, but because they're in here, they don't cost me anything. But all these guys here do cost me. So these guys who are 94 in upkeep will cost me 94 per turn. Little ways of doing stuff. So if you've got a whole army in here, half of them could be upkeep, half of them may not. So you do gotta keep an eye on your levels of upkeep and money. So when you've got enough armies, normally I wouldn't have this entire army in here, but it's a final defense. So I'd have like 4 in there, 4 in there, 4 down there, and have them as my area. So I have like the 7 I can keep in here, the 8 units I can keep in here, 4, 4, 4. So normally the 20 units I did have in here were from all the forts and my garrison in Mount Gundabad combined together to defend. Rightio. Who can I retrain? So I'm building some actually Black Shield archers, so next time I'm going to have 2 more arch units to fortify my walls, and good arch units as well, not bog standard stuff. Some wheel shit. They're basically what my general is. So yeah, that'd be fantastic. Replenishing my wargs because it'd be nice to have some more. And the barracks. I can also build trolls at some point, half trolls, and later on snow trolls. And snow trolls are like the trolls you see in the first Lord of the Rings movie, with the cave troll in Moria, but it's snow, so they're big snowy ones instead. Rightio, so yeah, just completely skipped over this bit. This is just the building phase. So construction, so you can build things. So I've got to wait 6 turns until a barracks is done. Recruitment, so these are the units I can currently train. Some of them take 2 turns, some of them take just a single turn. and retrain. These are the current units in my roster that I can retrain to replenish their numbers, give them better armor, give them better weapons, or more experience, maybe better training. God, these guys need to really lay off attacking me. It's really upsetting. Oh, Ruin is not attacking me. Ruin is their diplomat. Okay then. Fair enough. Right, let's end the turn again. Oh yeah, here comes my... Oh, of course they get blocked. So yeah, as you can see that if they don't see something in the fog of war and you move and they get interrupted by their movement, they stop immediately, which is annoying because you have to then go over there and click them over, which could be a bother because that's just wasted a turn now. So that 8-turn track he was going to do is going to take 9 turns. Yay. But hey ho, that's the game. Normally I'm not doing this shit 100 turns in. Normally I've captured a huge portion. It's mainly the dwarves got involved. I was doing quite well against the Vale of Anduin, and then the dwarves of Erebor kit got involved, and then they ripped me a new one going down that eastern side of my... Yeah. Oh, the One Ring has been located. Now this is interesting. You've got multiple factions that can go for this. One being Mordor, obviously. Another one being Isengard. Saruman himself can be the One Ring ruler. So he become the next Sauron, basically. And when he does, damn, you get some really, really good units. Damn, Saruman himself becomes a god. His units become impossible to kill. And yes, you can get Sauron. Because there's a mod, they have to keep things on the map at all times because they can't take things out and back in. So in this little corner up here, which is all black, if you reveal the fog of war, is Sauron. But he's in impassable lands. You can see that by mountains, so there's no way he can get to Middle Earth unless a certain event is called, and he can then be transported over. But yeah, it's mod limitations. Yes, so now I've got 2 new arch units. Yeah, Black Shield Archers, fantastic. So yes, hopefully now I'll be able to kill more things. What? Oh no! Why? King Fortin. Oh fuck me, King Fortin. He's from is he from The Hobbit? I can't remember. Thorin Oakenshield. Yeah, Thorin Oakenshield. Yeah, that's Thorin Oakenshield. Not the same look-alike that is though. From the actual movie, The Hobbit, that is. Or maybe that's just him in the future because The Hobbit is way before the main Lord of the Rings trilogy, as you can tell by Bilbo's age, from the Hobbit to the main trilogy. So basically this means I've got 1 turn to do things because these guys are going to attack me. Even though they're half an army, they're powerful still. See, look, this is Erebor infantry. This is their basic infantry, and it's 9 and 15. What's my basic infantry, which is the Snow Orcs? 9 and 14. Okay, so I forget how powerful my units are. Normally, the goblins, which I normally play as, I've got like 4 and 2. I forget, like I previously said, these are built to withstand. So who do I want to train? Well, let's get the Bold Champions. I want Mountain Orc Hunters. I don't know. Don't know who I want to train and who I don't want to train. Get those guys in because they're so little numbers. Them and them, possibly. Trying to think who I use more. Ooh. Yeah, I'll put those in because they're quite low on their areas. So yeah, these guys will be retrained before they can attack. It's only when I'm being besieged. Say if he was currently besieging me, then I couldn't. I could put them into the recruitment cycle, but they wouldn't be done. but because he's still got to take that little movement to get me first, I can retrain them. Unless they've changed it since I last played this game. If they have, this is unfair. If they haven't, then fantastic, it's not unfair. Oh, you can see they're trying to combine up. They know that I'm about to get attacked, so they're going for the sloppy seconds, as you may call. Now I'm interested to see if these guys are going to attack me first, and then get these guys to attack me, or they're going to combine their army and attack me at once. Oh god, look at their units. Oh, not fun. Not fun at all. King Shields? Fuck, son. Iron Hill Mattocks. Oh god. They're quite good units, because these guys are, if I'm correctly, they're effective against armour, yeah, and majority of my units are armour. Like, Bulge Champions, they've got 10 armour, so they're going to whip through that. Anywho, let's see what happens, shall we? Because there's not much I can do now. I've retrained the units, rebuilt. So this is the trouble with this game, is right now I'm stuck. I didn't move my diplomat. I can't get out of that corner now. So you have to start making some really terrible decisions, and that is, do you push out? And oh, there's 3 armies? Fuck, son. Oh, and they're all going to attack, because if they're adjacent of one another and can still attack you, then they'll be brought into the battle. So the guy behind him, Captain Barvor, won't be able to join the attack, but Captain Breror and King Thorn can both join in. So I'm going to have 2 armies instead of just 1. This is going to be fun. But not this turn, though. He'll have to be possibly next turn. It depends on what they do. Chieftain of Dunedain is dead. Oh, okay. Ah, the late chieftain is dead. That means Aragorn just died. Yes, so each unit still, each faction do have their respected units. This is like before the Fellowship comes into play. So Gimli is still at Erebor. Legolas is still at Thranduil's realm. Aragorn is still going to be part of the Dunedain. Frodo and all that, and Sam are going to be part of Freeland and the Shire. You know, the Rohan's still going to be where they are. Gondor's going to still be. Boromir's still going to be down in Gondor. Everything's going to. Every person you see in the movie is going to, in Lord of the Rings, is going to be back where they originally came from. It's basically like an ultimate timeline, if you like to think. Like right now should be the trek of the Fellowship to Mordor, and it's like 3,500. So I think that's all you would be done if they were doing it. But you know, that's just whatever. So yeah, this is like another alternative. This is what happened if the Fellowship didn't get brought together. Besieged. Yeah, did those units? Yeah, those units did get replenished. Okay, so that is how I remembered. Now, as you can see, if I hover over my flag, it says under siege, turns until surrender. You can ultimately wait it out. They can wait 11 turns and automatically win, because that's when I run out of food, and that's when my people start dying off, basically. Every turn that I'm under siege will take replenishment damage. So I think it's 5 or 10% of your army will die each turn. I think it's 5%, or give or take, basically, percent. So basically, if they wait 2 more turns and go down to 9 turns to surrender, these units won't. This guy won't be on 200. He'll be like 180 something, for instance, because they're taking. Not everyone can eat, basically, because they're cut off, basically, us from supplies. 11 turns, that means we're all dead. They can take it over, and they don't have to waste a single unit. Problem is, if you do that, one, you're taking loads more turns. So if I have more buildings elsewhere, you know, I could take an army down and take them out. And also you run the risk of them coming out to attack you. If they have a bigger force in the mountain like I do, and it gets down to like, I've got 1 turn left, I'll just send everything out, because if I don't, I die, and there's a chance of me succeeding. Now AI that seem to be quite stupid, because this is quite an old game. They don't seem to realise that. Like with many of the tactics I've used during the combat, they don't recognise what I'm doing. Like anyone who was fighting me in that previous Gundabad would take out my wargs immediately, and then hit my the gate with the ram straight away, instead of run back and grabbing another ram, taking all the way back, things like that. It's just silly, and not put your units close enough to get hit by archers, only the ram units. So I would have easily lost that if there was a person controlling. But luckily there isn't, so you can take advantage. And take advantage I fucking will. Because sod that. Rightio. Let's see what's happened. King of Dale is dead. Fantastic. The Starlutska can retaken. They're the horse nomads. I should really explain the faction, shouldn't I? I don't know. Dwarvens of Erdluin. Do you know, I'm really on the good side of the dwarves. Can you tell them to stop attacking me? These aren't the dwarves of Erdluin, they're actually the dwarves in the far east, where my teammates are getting attacked by. But still. Dwarves like me, but they still want to kill me. I don't know how to take this. So I still can't do anything. See, that's got down to 10 now, and if I look at that unit that had 200, yeah, it's got 196. So it lost about 4 units. It's not much at all, actually. Way less than 5%. But it's there still. That will. I think it gets bigger and bigger each turn. So then it'll be like, I lose 6 units, and then 10 units, and then 12 units, things like that. So it'll get worse and worse. It will like not double each time, but add on 50% to what's lost before. So I lost 4, then I'll lose 6, and then I'll lose 9, and then I'll lose, I don't know, 14 or so, give or take. Basically just keep adding up. Oh, they're getting ready to attack me right afterwards. Fantastic. And after I've done with them, I'll have another one to deal with, and another I'll fail, and another one, and it just becomes this like, how do you push out? So it gets to a point where you're like, do I just end this mode because there's no way to progress, and I'm just in a stalemate where I've got 2 good units, but also I am building better stuff. Barracks, I've built those 2 new archers. At some point I will have that advantage.
I'll rip off your head and spit down your neck.
Oh damn. Just seeing some of their units. And that's only one of the armies. They've got ballista. You know what, let's do something fun. Let's have a look at all the factions, because I don't think you guys would know much about the factions. If you do, fantastic, you don't have to worry about this bit. Let's go from the far west. So the dwarfs of Erdluin. These are quite peaceful dwarfs, beginning of the game, but they can get the 1 ring. I think that's what the modders did, and they can turn into an evil faction, which is fantastic. So there's a chance, a small chance, but there's a chance that these guys can turn evil at some point in your campaign. They haven't turned evil. As you can see, they go all the way east and fight my teammates, the Anduin, not Anduin, the Angmar, fuck it, Angmar. And they are bossing it. Dwarfs, these dwarfs are scary. Never want to fight them, they're very scary. Down south you've got the Grey Havens, what are they called again? The High Elves? The Grey Havens of Linden, there you go. These are the purples. Now these are basically at the end of Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King, when Gandalf is making their farewell. This is where they are, actually at Mithlond here, and they take the boat all the way out, out basically to the Undying Lands. So yeah, you don't really see much of them in the movies except for the very end. And no, I think it's just them, because I think the ones where they see the elves on the road are from Rivendell. Anyway, so yeah, that's all you really see from the eastern side. Western side, sorry. Further east, you get Breland and the Shire. So there's Hobbiton, as we all know. That's where the Shire is. That's where, you know, Frodo, Sam, Pippin, and Merry come from. Deep Hallow and Michael Delphin are just other settlements around them. Keep going east, and you get to Bree, which is, you know, where they go to the Prancing Pony. You keep going east again, you get to Ostsill, and up here you may recognise it. It's Weathertop, where Frodo gets stabbed by one of the Nazgul. Now, this is where the lines converged from Breland into the Dunedain, which is Aragorn's people, basically. Dunedain Rangers. They keep the west safe. That's why Breland is so safe and secure, because they've got the Dunedain to their east. You know, their bigger brother, basically. Up north off the Dunedain are the guys that I've showed you before, the Angmar forces. Nice to show you there. Keep going east and you get to Rivendell. This nice blue one here. Oh yeah, I didn't show the colours of Breland. Breland are light green. Dunedain are dark green. There you can see their faction templates are different there. Dark green there, light green there. Then you get the blues, the dark blues of Rivendell. This is where they do the fellowship, you know, with Elrond, and you know that's where they go to the council. That little pretty scenic picture, or painting actually, it's actually a painting they show of Rivendell, which is fantastic. Down south we've got the goblins, who are brown, and they form at Gazagkala. They normally do at Goblin Town, which is where they go in The Hobbit, where they kill that Goblin King. But they got taken over by the Anduin. And further down you've got Moria. That's split off into two, Eastern and Western Moria, because Moria is massive. It takes like 2 or so days to get through Moria, if you were to do that in real life. It's massive, so they've split into 2 different ways, which is this one here. No, is that one? Yeah, Goblin capital there, and a Khazad-dûm capital. So yeah, there's 2 capitals there. One for goblins, one for the dwarves. I'll get into dwarves later. Now, further down south, you've got the Dunlendins. Dunlendins do make an appearance in the original trilogy, in the 2 towers, where Saruman is basically in a circle of rabble, and he's like, take the lands back, you know, blah blah blah. And it shows all like the looking like homeless guys going, let's take them back, yeah, they took our jobs. Basically, they're like wild men. They did have control of Rohan before Rohan was there, and then Rohan took it over and pushed them out. And they've got a deep hatred for Rohan. And do so the clans of Ed and Rife, the Yellows, to their west. The clans of Ed and Rife and Dunlendins do not get on, but in the past they have. There used to be one massive clan, and then split off into 2 further clans through disagreements or warfare. Either way, blood was shed. They're not fans of each other, but they can combine into one alliance, which is really good for them both, but means one of them has to skip on the morality. Ed and Rife are more good or neutral. Dunlendins are going from neutral to evil. So they can both go neutral. One of them go good, one of them, you know, based out that. They can both be neutral and be together, or good or bad and kill each other. Which I think at this point is killing each other. Yep, they kill each other. A bit further down south, you've got Isengard, who are getting absolutely trampled by Rohan right now. Normally Isengard own all this here, but Rohan own all this here because they're getting absolutely destroyed and their capital's getting attacked. Like mine, basically. I am Isengard. They do have another settlement over here, Begness. So they're doing quite well for themselves over here, actually. Quite a good force. Speaking of which, and Rohan. This is Rohan, the Horse Lords. This is Fangorn Forest. This is where the Ents are. So this is where Pip and Mary got, like, you know, taken to, and then, you know, go through basically in the second film where they find Treebeard. I'm going to start going north, where you get the Elves of Lothlorien, and they do make an appearance in the original trilogy. In the first movie, after Gandalf gets felled by the Balrog in the Mines of Moria, they go out, and Gimli says the famous, "I've got the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox," and then he gets a bow and arrow stuck into his face. I almost forgot the line. How did I always forget that? It's blasphemy, that is. But yeah, that's where Galadriel stays, and Hadir, I think it's Hadir, who dies in the second film at the Helm's Deep when he gets basically a blade to the back. Up north, Anduin and their massive Anduin River. Again, this is where the Smeagol comes from, where hobbits normally come from. I don't know exactly where, but I know somewhere here. This is where the Beornins come from in The Hobbit, where you see the guy, the massive 7-foot+ guy who turns into a bear. These are where these guys come from. Beornin's Hall. Well, Bjorn's Hall, not Beornin's, Bjorn's Hall. This is where they come from. They are eagle hunters as well. They're hunters generally. People always ask, why don't they take the eagles to, you know, to Mordor? They can't. One, eagles don't give a shit, because if you're an eagle, why the fuck would you give a shit? You could just fly off. Why is it your problem? Second is the fact that if they try anything, they will get killed. You know, if they come, because normally they're in the north here, in where the mountains are. If they come around here, they get attacked by Gundabad, they get attacked by the Vale Anduin, they come through here, they get attacked by Dol Guldur, which is the settlement down here shown in the Hobbit trilogy, where they go down there and they find Sauron's return, or trying to return. And then you go further down, you've got Mordor and the Easterlands of Rhûn. You've basically got places that are just not happy. And if you go across the mountains, you've got the goblins as well. It's not so easy for them to travel, so they don't. The only reason they do is because Gandalf. That's why they make an appearance at Isengard, because Gandalf summons them, but that's basically like his get out of jail free card, because they owe him for a previous debt through the gods, basically, because Gandalf is basically an angel sent by the gods, so it's basically a repayment. The reason why they show up at Mordor at the end is because it's a last-ditch effort. You know, they want Mordor gone, but they don't want to get involved because they'll get killed. This is a final stretch of, hey, if we able to get involved that is, this might be gone forever, and we can live peacefully. Because if Mordor's still around, they can never live peacefully. They will always be hunted down. So it's last-ditch effort. That is why the eagles do not get involved. Now, there's probably more other reasons or another better explanation out there, but that's how I see it, or how it's supposed to be seen. But you know, I might be wrong on that point. Anyway, who gives a shit? Next to Anduin is the Thranduil's realm, Woodland realm, which is where Legolas and Thranduil come from. Thranduil's halls in The Hobbit. They go on this is where they do the little barrel ride down there, all the way down to Dale. Up north, you've got the Dwarves of Erebor. Well, Dwarves of Erebor are normally here, and they've expanded all the way westward and eastward. As you can see by the pink, or reddish pink, all the way at the top here. They mean business. Underneath them is Dale, their little brother, basically, the human guys. They're blue, and they basically just go down this little river down here. Further down, we've got Dark Greens, who are the Dol Guldur, again, from what I said previously, and they're getting absolutely hammered by the Vale Anduin as well. To the east, you've got Dorinion, who don't make an appearance in the film, but they're mainly known for their wine. They've got very good vineyards out here. To the east, you've got the Easterlands of Rhûn. Now, these guys do make an appearance in the second film. Basically, when Frodo, Sam, and Gollum, Smeagol, go to the Black Gate, they basically see these guys marching into the gates. Basically, they're the Eastlings of Rune, which I always have a bit of a problem with because they're marching from this direction. They should be marching from that direction because they're coming from the east, not from the south, because that's where Gondor is, and Osgiliath and such. It's always bothered me, but it's a tiny detail in that movie. Yeah, because you can see them, they're going from right to left on the screen when they should be going left to right. It's a small detail. Who gives a shit? But yeah, it's always one of those little facts. Now these guys are the heavily plated armor, golden armor. That is. Normally it's silver for lower tier units, golden ones for the elite units. So what you see on the screen in Two Towers are the elite units. Further down, Mordor, dark red, really pissy Mordor. These have the best units in the game. Of course they would. They have the most fun units in the game. They've got trolls, they've got all sorts of things, all sorts of awesome warfare units. And then you get Sauron at the end of the day if they get the ring, which is fun because Sauron's basically immortal in this game. He takes so much deaths, so much health to take down. He's actually impossible. I've actually tried this as like a little fun to try and take him out. I sent like 5 armies against him, and his whole army plus him just destroyed me. All 5 of them. He barely took any damage. Sauron himself is just impossible to kill. And that's basically it. You just win if you get Sauron. So you don't want that to happen. You do not want to get him the ring, and he can get the ring. And I think at some point he does get the ring. Like if you don't get him like 300 turns in or something, like he does get the ring. So you gotta kill Mordor off. But you can get the ring and drop it into the Mount Doom. You can do that. That's scripted in the game. Of course, Mordor won't be anything with Gondor, and yes, they do have massive land to fund their massive armies. Faramir, Boromir, Denethor, all of them are here. Fight them back, hold your ground. Holy fuck, it's Uruk-hai. Of course, the Mordor also get Nazgul, so good luck with that. Nazgul, Witch King, all sorts of things. Oh, and also those big rhino things you see in the Return of the King, where they take that battering ram to the gate of Minas Tirith. They are weaponized, and you can use them. And fuck me, are they good. To the east of Gondor, on this little side here, is Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth are very heavy cavalry unit based. They're basically Rohan, but if you put Rohan in all armor, everything is armored. This is Dol Amroth. They mostly go for naval combat or land unit. As you may see, they've also taken all the way down here as well, because they're just very good. They're very strong. Speaking of being down here, normally this is the Umbar, so you might see them here at Ankaramir Black. Normally they don't have Ankaramir, Harad does, and I'll tell you about Harad later. Umbar are the pirates you see in the 3rd movie. They're the ones that take the ships to Gondor all the way up here, through this river here, and out here. They take the pirates all the way down here, and they attack from the sea, and that's where Legolas, Gimli, and Aragorn appear with the army of the undead. In the deleted scene, what's his name? Peter Jackson is one of the pirates who gets shot by Legolas. Fun fact. But yeah, they're the pirates. They're actually really good. The pirates are very strong in this game. I had a fun campaign with them, going down the coastline of Gondor and fighting them. Very fun. Now, Harad. Harad are the red ones. They're the guys with the Mumakils and the big elephants, basically, in the 3rd movie. But yeah, they're just brilliant. They're just fantastic armies. They use southern units, so they're more desert-like. They're just very good. They're the guys that wear the cloth around their faces, going down towards like more African Persian routes, whilst the Khand, the remnants of Khand, who are these orange guys, focus more on Mongolian and Eastern, not Eastern Japanese or like Chinese, more Western Eastern side. So you're talking about like, you know, Mongol side of China, places like Kazakhstan, places like that. Basically, that's where they're modelled after. So they've got the horse nomads. They're basically like Rohan, but they're more archer based. So these are your cavalry, fast action, Mongolian style, basically. More eastern, who had a more southern, like southern. You're talking about like maybe not straight into Africa, but more like Saudi Arabia sort of stuff. Desert, basically. Morocco, Egypt, like that sort of stuff. And pirates are just pirates. Have I missed anyone? I think that's all of them. Yeah, I think that's all the factions you get in this game. I don't think there's any factions that have been killed off. No, I don't think so. So yeah, that's a little brief history of the world of Middle Earth. Hope you enjoyed that. Actually, I don't see a point, just keep that up, just so we can look around. There are little tidbits of each faction, little descriptions of each one, so if you want to go into more detail you can. And there's so much about this mod. If you do have Medieval 2, definitely get this. Definitely. You can get it at ModDB called Divide and Conquer. This is actually an early version as well. This is version 3. I think version 4 and 4.5 just came out. Well, just came out. Kit was already out. So there's going to be more stuff. There's going to be more fun stuff. I know that Ents are back. They took the Ents out because it crashed the game, but they managed to get Ents back in. So Ents now will attack you, especially in Fangorn Forest or the elves. I know that there are spider units, like you do get in you know, the Hobbit movies. There were spider units there. I think you can. They used to have them here, but they crashed the game too, so they might have put them back in. I'm not totally sure. Certain units are better. Factions have changed. Gundabad is actually a new faction. That's why I'm playing as them. In the previous versions, they weren't far. They were part just out of Angmar, which is this lot over here. And that's one big. Actually, no, they weren't. Were they? Or were they part of the goblins? I think they're part of the goblins. I'm not totally sure. I'm going to have to rethink that. I think yeah, they were part of the goblins because they also had Dane's Halls at the beginning of the game as well. But it became too much of an annoyance for AI because they were too far stretched. I do follow the modders that play this, that mod this game. Not so much recently, so I don't know what they've changed recently in their new patch. But I used to be all about them. A year ago, I was all in their grill. So yeah, this is one of my favourite games. I love it. So this is where I'm going to head off. I feel like I've talked and nerded that up about Lord of the Rings a bit too long. About to hit an hour and a half recording. So yeah, I'm going to continue playing this game, see how this goes. I'll probably play this off camera, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be much here. I think it's just going to be constantly just getting Ritual down and whatnot. But if it changes, I'll show how it changes. If not, then I've lost. If you don't see any more from this, I've lost. I got killed. If you do see more of this, we're back on. Underdog story, here we go. But, I'll most likely download the newest patch and then play from there. See what factions I can play. Probably get like one of my, viewers, if I do get enough viewers, or just someone that watches this, just to give me a faction to play as and I'll play as them. Right here then. I'm going to love you and leave you, Jesus Christ, Luke. And have a good one. Bye bye.